Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, champions, and welcome back to another video. And today we are looking at Shriekwing on normal. This is going to be a POV from Fury Warrior, and I'm going to be commentating over it, kind of pointing out some of the tactics you need to be aware of, as well as some of the decisions that I make as a Fury Warrior, and just key things to remember as a Fury Warrior during this fight specifically. So let's get to it. Quickly before we start, I want to shout out my Twitch stream where we go live every Sunday, Tuesday and Wednesday from 7:30 till 11 PM UK, playing WoW, answering all your Fury Warrior questions. And if you want to further support us, then please do consider giving this video a like, subscribing to the channel and turning on your notifications. Anyway, on with the video. So just as we're pulling, just make sure that we're casting Recklessness before we charge, making sure we're pre-potting, and also making sure you've got a food and flask on. The reason you want to do your Recklessness before you charge is because it gives you additional rage when you charge in. Oh, I can't remember the callouts now. They've completely gone from my brain. As you can see here, people are being targeted by echolocation. For this, you want to make sure you're kind of just dropping it around the edges of the room, keeping it out of the way. You could put it on the side or the very top of the room. You specifically. Echolocation incoming in 5. Everyone gets to the edges. Well, not everyone, those targeted. Everyone off out the edge. Line of sight, everyone. Here we have ear split and shriek. For this one, you want to make sure that you're going to be line of sighting. You don't need to be hugging the posts. However, you need to be in line with the post to make sure that the line of sight isn't there. This is because later on in the engagement, what's going to happen is the floor is going to be covered in stuff, and some of those things could be around the poles. So as long as you practice being in line with the pole, you'll be fine. As you can see throughout the entirety of the fight, I'm making sure that I'm casting my rampage the minute that I hit 57. Sometimes I'm not, and that is a complete mistake. But as a Fury Warrior, you need to ensure that you're hitting rampage the second that you're getting to your 75 kind of rage. There we go. This is because it's going to make sure you're putting out the most damage as humanly possible. I don't like that dot. It makes me sad. Line of sight. As you can see on my screen, I've got both DBM and weak auras, and it's important to have both of these. Weak auras help you kind of see things a little bit easier, and DBM helps with kind of like the auditory stuff. Guys, don't get hit by anything. This is now the start of the second phase for Shriekwing. During that small section there, when he's doing the red circle around him, you can still attack him, but it's a little bit risky as a melee because obviously you have these orbs, and these small orbs you have to avoid. Anytime you hit them, you will be targeted, you'll be jumped on by a gargoyle, and it will leave a red mark on the floor. Line of sight just needs to be, at the same time, you need to ensure that you're line of sighting the boss and not hitting the boss as well, because again, you'll leave marks on the floor. You need to be aware of Shriek as well during this entire phase. As you can see, things start getting a little bit messy because people get hit by it. It's not a problem because you're able to move the boss to different locations of the room. Always look for the cleanest part of the floor before you're going to go back into your first phase again. As you can see then, as a Fury Warrior, I was able to leap over and charge in. This means that I'm being able to do as much damage as humanly possible. During fights like this, where there are long periods of downtime, you want to make sure that you're charging and leaping as quickly as possible to make sure that your uptime and your DPS is kept as high as possible, because there's a long period of time where you're not going to be doing anything, and it will severely affect the DPS you're putting out. It's odd that you found Silvermoon quiet. Silvermoon's always been one of the highest populations. Again, as you can see here, the phase 2 has finished and it's gone back into phase 1. The exact same tactics are at play here, and you need to pay attention to them. Generally speaking, you can get this boss down during this second phase 1 before getting to phase 2. As you'll see, we unfortunately get back into a second phase 2. However, we get it down quickly afterwards. Line of sight, everyone. Tell us how you found our stream, where you've come from, and if you're a World of Warcraft player yourself. Once again there, I was able to charge in the minute that the line of sight had finished. This is a key thing, like I said, to make sure you're doing. The minute, if you're away from the boss, and the minute you can start attacking the boss again, charge in, leap in, just make sure you're doing something to make sure you can attack quicker. Get this down. Yeah, do bear with stream. Obviously, whilst we're mid-boss, I might be talking to people. Going to the edges in 2, guys. Maybe those out. Try and drop them directly on something else, even if it hurts you a little bit. You can power through it. As I said to the guild there, you can drop those on top of other ones. And yes, it might hurt you a little bit, but you have got defensives that you can use to kind of power through that. It will also help keep the floor a little bit tidier than it currently is. Oh, gotta keep standing. As you can see, we go back into our second phase 2, which is unfortunate. Like I said, ideally you want to get it down during that second phase 1. But again, it's a complete repeat of the second phase from before. The entire time you want to just ensure that you're avoiding those orbs and just kind of keeping as safe as possible. You don't want to be making the floor any dirtier than it already is. Sorry. Oh, mother... I just got hit by one as I was trying to dodge it. Oh, motherfucker. And then as you saw then, I recasted my Recklessness. Recklessness can go off at least 3 to 4 times per boss fight, depending how quickly you can do it. Make sure you are casting Recklessness the second it's back up live again. You can time it with your other abilities if you want to, especially if you're things such as Kyrian and Night Fae. However, you can cast it the second it comes back up. And there we have it, we got it down. No upgrades for me, but the rest of the guild got some quite nice bits. One of them was actually an upgrade on my own cloak. Didn't change that one though, my thing. And that is that video done for today. I hope this was kind of useful. You got to see it from a Fury Warrior perspective and kind of got reminded some of the tactics you need to be aware of during this fight. We're going to be continuing through the path of doing these on normal, and then it'll also be following us during heroic when we start doing that soon. We'll also be kind of adding some mythic plus bits here and there. So if you like any of that, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. Do put in the comments down below if you found this kind of video useful and it was nice to see a raid perspective from a Fury Warrior, a class that you're not often seeing at the moment. So if you enjoyed it, let us know. Hopefully see you again soon.